We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Jonathan. At CEDIA, Jonathan says, ELAC and Andrew Jones showed off the final versions of his new Adante series speakers, which should be ready to ship soon. They're $2,500 each for the towers and $2,500 a pair for the bookshelves. The demos were strictly 5.1 using the $2,500, which apparently is a theme, Adante ASW121. It's a dual opposed 2 by 2 12-inch drivers in a box. It's a sealed subwoofer for the 0.1 duties. That's I guess so. If you want to buy anything from them, you're gonna buy them in
$2,500 a pop.
$2,500.
That's the price.
That's the price of all the things. So sometimes you get 2 things with that. Sometimes you get 1 thing with that. So he asks, will Andrew Jones ever get on board with using 2 subs? Will 5.2 ever be considered the standard speaker configuration? He's accepted putting 2 drivers into 1 cabinet, so why not 2 cabinets with 1 driver each? Yeah, Jonathan, I can't speak to what Andrew Jones believes or does not believe, or nor do I really think that he's opposed to 2 subwoofers. I think that many manufacturers and designers, for that matter, think of home theater more practically than maybe you and I do. You know, a lot of people out there are having a hard time getting people to just buy the single sub, much less the dual sub. So, you know, why didn't he have 2 subwoofers in there? I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, in the interviews and the videos that I've seen Andrew Jones talking in, he hasn't gotten on board with the multiple subwoofer thing just yet. He's still talked about using full range speakers in every position. He hasn't gotten on board with that whole thing. And will he? I think he needs a really good demo from Sean Olive and Todd Welty and the other folks over at Harman. Right. I think as soon as he hears it, he'll be a believer, because that's how it works for Tom and me, and for everyone else who's ever listened to our advice on this podcast and gotten on board with the at least 2 subwoofers across the room from one another, and what a difference that makes and what an improvement it is. So hearing is believing. For whatever reason, I guess he hasn't had a convincing demo of that done just yet. So yeah. I don't think he seems like a very reasonable man. I don't think he's immovable on this topic. So somebody's just got to get a hold of him and give him a good demo. That's what I think.
Right. And, you know, a lot of times these guys, and this is not disparaging, it's just the fact of life. At some point you're like, listen, I've been doing this a long time. I know what I know. I don't need anybody to tell me anything new. Like, I think that's a fairly ignorant and dismissive point of view, but it's something I understand because I've heard it all my life. Yeah. You know, as I've been walking around with people who clearly are experts in their fields, they're also wildly uninformed as to some of the newer things that are going on. This happens a lot in colleges too, where you've got professors who have been teaching the same class for 30 years. You know, they have sometimes no idea some of the newer stuff that's out, and you end up getting outdated information from them. I think I've told the story before, but I'm going to tell it again real quick. My grandfather...
We're not even going to get through all 10 of these questions, are we?
There's zero chance. My grandfather one time said to me as we were driving along, he goes, man, soap's weird. How does soap work? He just kind of said it off the cuff. And I was like, I just had a chemistry class today. This is how soap works. 1/2 the molecule dissolves in water, 1/2 of it dissolves in oil, and then when you mix it together with an oil and water, and there's oil in your hands, and that kicks up all the dirt, and then you clean your hands, it comes, and then I explained this whole thing to him, and he's like nodding his head. At the end, he goes, yeah, but how does it work? That was a man who clearly did not want to know. He was done. His brain was full of all the information he needed to know to get through life, and this was not a thing he wanted to expand upon. That very moment, I made the decision that I would never be like that. I would always learn. I would always want to learn. So maybe Andrew Jones has gotten to the point where he doesn't want to learn anything else about home theater or speaker design, and that's between. That's the case. But I'm not saying that it is. I said maybe it is.
I think part of the problem is the channel count thing, because the logic says we have this 0.1 channel. You play that from one subwoofer. And even like we're guilty of doing this whole calling it 5.2 or like in Atmos calling it 5.2.4 or 7.4.4 or something like that. That's really a misnomer, because that
it's really
0.1,
it's just 0.1.
It's all 0.1. It's just that you're using 2 or 4 subwoofers to all simultaneously play one channel. Now, we've gone over and over why that works, why that's beneficial, why you want to do that. And really, it shouldn't be that hard to wrap your head around, because for any of the given speaker channels, most speaker designers are using more than one driver. Not that guy who talks on HT guys all the time, but most of them are like, yeah, you divide up the frequency range. It's one channel, but I'm using 3 or 5 drivers to produce the sound from that one channel. It isn't that difficult to wrap your head around the idea of using more than one driver to produce the sound from the 0.1 low frequency effects channel. But yeah, I think it's ingrained thinking. It's a slight logic problem. You have to get away from what's intuitive, because the whole multiple subwoofer setup thing is not intuitive. It really is not, which is why we've managed to continue talking about it this many years in, because people are still like, I can't quite wrap my head around it.
I know, we
totally
get the same questions over and over again, but you're right. It's like,
and we're fine with that. That's fine. That's great. We will keep at it, because all we have is the example itself of, oh yeah, that actually works much better. So yeah, that's all we got.
So Jonathan says they made a point of saying that speakers come with gloves so you can unpack them and position them without getting fingerprints on the glossy finish. But isn't that kind of indicate a problem? If the speakers are visible and positioned out in the room, and the finish is so delicate that you need to put gloves on to touch it, isn't that kind of a worry for day-to-day use? And if you've hidden them behind an acoustically transparent cover, what does it matter if these fingerprints are on the cabinets? Will the included gloves even fits the hands of Jonathan's many servants that he will have?
That's right,
placing his speakers for him.
White gloved butlers.
The white glove, the glove thing is such a crock of crap. I'm going to be honest with you. I've gotten that before. If you want to know a surefire way to break your brand new speakers as you're taking them out of the box, put on those gloves. They are like frictionless surfaces. You know, I remember one time taking a tower speaker out of the box. I took I pulled at the speaker, and the thing just went slid right through my hands back in the box. I was like, oh my god, that was dangerous.
Especially when the speaker comes in like a cotton sleeve or something.
The whole thing, it's like trying to wrangle a seal. It's terrible. So it is such a load of crap. It's just audiophile nonsense. These things are so nice, you have to have the white glove finish. Shut up. That's like 10 cents worth of gloves so that people think, well, these must be fancy if they come with gloves.
Yeah, no,
it's a
pick it up with your
tool.
hands, place it, and then if there's fingerprints on it, wipe it with a microfiber cloth, and you're done.
Most glossy speakers come with microfiber cloths anyways, and there's just one in the box. You just wipe it down. It's no big deal. I don't know about your servants and the size of their hands. That's between you and your servants. You guys should discuss that. Maybe get them their own gloves, preferably with some grip to them. He said one of the included accessories that comes with the Adante center speaker, which is $2,000. Oh,
it's the odd man out.
What? It's $2,000.
It's like, well, how do you charge $2,500 for a single center speaker that isn't as large as the tower? That's what he had to do. Had to ruin it.
Anyways, it comes with a rubber wedge. Is that basically just a rubber doorstop? It seems a bit low tech for such an expensive speaker, and not as adjustable as, say, the Auralex Mopads. Would we have expected something a bit more elegant for adjusting the tilt of the center speaker? But that's exactly what the
Varus Grands?
The Varus Grands came with these two little wedges, and they're kind of like a
scoop,
like a quarter pipe on the thing. So the further up you push these things up to the wedge, the more angled it is, and it's not just a straight line. It gets it even more angled. I like them. I think they're fine. I've dealt with a number of different center speaker solutions, and it's this one. While maybe not as elegant as you might like, it is one that actually works. Like I've had some that are like in this tiltable, sort of stand that comes with and everything else, and in the end, you're like, every once in a while you have to go readjust it because the vibrations will make it fall back down. So,
well, I'll tell you, like the Revel Ultima speaker, the Revel Ultima center speaker. I mean, it comes with a very nice looking, very fancy looking cradle, but you adjust it, like you have to adjust, like screw things and like, move, and it's a heavy speaker, so you get it in position, you screw it all back in, and then that all has to be put onto its dedicated stand and stuff. I'm like, it's a hassle and a half, and if you then want to adjust it afterwards, you got to like disassemble the stand basically in order to move it again. I'm like, I would rather have a rubber doorstop. That's very effective and much easier. So I'm fine with that. How often are you looking getting down and looking underneath your center speaker to see what's tilting it up? I'm fine with the black rubber.
Yeah. Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.